FatDag is a Weight Watchers leader in Indianapolis, Indiana. However, the views and opinions expressed during this podcast are his own. They do not represent the views of Weight Watchers. And now, here's your host and wingman, FatDag.
I am your host, FatDag. You're listening to WhysAdvice. My weight loss journey failed when I focused on how. It wasn't until I switched my focus to why that I truly transformed myself. Join the show on the web at FatDag.com and follow along on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at WhysAdvice. Send in your comments, your questions, and your celebrations, and I'll include them as part of the show. But before we dive in, remember, when you're out of points, stop eating points. Hey, I'm honored to be your wingman as we walk through this journey together because I believe in you. Well, hello, welcome to episode 138 of WhysAdvice, and we continue to climb up the charts, and Facebook chimes in with a WhysAdvice. That's exactly it. When you're out of points, stop eating points. WYOOPSEP. You'll see that popping all over the internet lately. It's kind of fun because it's our own word. You know, it's WHYOOPSEP. It's kind of like a sneeze, right? You can say a WHYOOPSEP and someone responds with, well, I wish you good focus. So that's what it is. If you're listening to the show on Stitcher, iHeart, you're in the iTunes app, or if you just found it on Google or you found it on YouTube, wherever you found the show, thank you for tuning in. You certainly can go to your app store and look for WhysAdvice with FatDag. It's a standalone app. You can download the episodes, save them for when you go on a walk. So many of you let me know that you're out walking, and as much as I appreciate it, if you live in Alaska, it's okay if you don't take me with you for a walk when it's snowing. So Dan, thank you. Good shout out to that. Fun episode there as we talk. But go ahead and get the app. It's in the App Store. And while you're out there, please leave a review. Let other folks know that you like the app so that they can see that it's worth the download. You know, I think when I tried to figure out how much to charge for the app, I wanted to make sure that I provided the right value back, and trying to set that price point at a point where it would be fair. And we settled on $0. I thought $0 was a fair price. So let other folks know that it's worth the price of $0 to download it by go ahead and leaving a review in the App Store or wherever you hear it. So thank you always for listening. Thank you for being here. It's truly my honor to walk this journey with you. It's an amazing community we built. If you go ahead and go to wysewingmen.com, then what you'll see is that'll launch you automatically into a Facebook group of folks who are just tuned into the show, listening to what we got going on. We talk all the time. There's no marketing going on in there. It's strictly a place for you to find support with other people. So wysewingmen.com, that'll get you in there. But let's go ahead and get Georgene's email out of the way here. Georgene writes, says, hi, my name is Georgene, and I just turned lifetime. I was cleaning out some papers and I came across the medical form my insurance company used when I applied for life insurance in 2009. Apparently, my weight was 207 pounds. This was kind of a shock since I lived in the land of denial of never weighing myself. So then I tried Metabolife, Atkins, and South Beach diets. Apparently, none of those worked because January 1st, 2013, I was 198 pounds. So then I tried the fast diet. The fast diet is when you eat 500 calories 2 days a week and whatever you want the rest of the week. Well, that worked for about a year and a half. I hit goal and then I started gaining weight because apparently once you hit your goal, then you're done. At least that's how my thought process worked. So I'd hit my goal weight and then the weight started creeping up again. One of my best friends, Kathy, suggested Weight Watchers. I walked through the Weight Watcher doors December 7th, 2015. I weighed in 166 pounds. I had 20 pounds to lose to get to goal. And today, I have reached lifetime. Yes, this took me a year and 11 months. However, I now will be lifetime forever. We talk about our why. I thought long and hard about it during this journey. My why is that I'm scared I will once again weigh 198 or 207 pounds again. Sure, there is that health thing that Dr. Oz had mentioned on one of his shows, how good losing just 10 pounds was for your health. I did that. I lost 10 pounds, and I gained it back. So now I'm learning to make this sustainable for the rest of my life, and without Weight Watchers, I was well on my way of moving up on that scale again and reaching those goals instead of a healthy weight goal. How did I do this, and what have I learned along the way? Well, they're kind of both the same things. How I did this was I followed the plan. In the beginning, I followed the plan. I weighed my food as much as I could. I tracked everything that I ate except for 0-point foods. And today, I weigh everything that I can. I track everything that I eat except 0-point foods. I'm still following the plan, and that is my plan for the rest of my life. I don't track 0-point foods. I tried it once just to see if I was eating enough fruits and vegetables. Yes, I was, so I stopped doing that. I tried tracking water. I drink enough now because that was my eye-opener. I was not drinking enough. I looked at how much protein I was getting when my weight loss stalled. I was not eating enough protein, so I changed up my diet to add it. I eat Quest bars for 21 grams of protein. I eat water-packed tuna for 16. I eat deli turkey for 14. The point is, now I pay attention. What else do? I come to meetings every week. I sit in my green chair and I listen and learn. I sit by a lifetimer named Jerry and I get tips from her. I see another lifetimer, Barb, come to the meetings every week unless she's on vacation. I get inspired by them. I see this is sustainable. I don't think you ever stop learning on this journey. I go on Connect. I try and help people. I've been helped so much by the people that I follow. I found some amazingly inspirational people like FatDag. I follow some people who are struggling because I want to see how they overcome their struggles. Because, well, we all struggle. Some tips and tricks I've learned along the way to set myself up for success are: I only bring food to work that I'm going to eat that day. I never bring extra because I used to have a container of semi-point friendly food at work, and if it's not there, then I can't eat it. I only put out food on my kitchen counter that I actually can eat or that I want to. For example, right now there are bananas, apples, and nuts. I put point-friendly food in the fridge at eye level. I cut up my food into smaller pieces and I take the time to actually chew it. I enjoy eating. I enjoy my food so much more now than I ever did. I drink my water. I eat my protein. I listen to the people who have done this. I go on Connect. I follow people who I find inspiring. Most of all, I come to my meeting every week, and this is sustainable for the rest of my life. I do realize that this is lifetime because of my hard work, focus, and the fact that I never gave up. I am so proud of me. I would like to thank the leaders from Weight Watchers, Debbie, Gail, Leslie, and the awesome Tony Williams. They have all taught me something. FatDag, I also want to thank you for letting me share this. Having been mentioned on episodes 10 and 122, I just wanted to celebrate with you. I appreciate all that you do for us, our country, and us on Weight Watchers. Thanks to you, I stop eating points when I'm out of points. Georgene. Georgene, congratulations on your amazing accomplishment. What you did is hard work, and it took intense focus for you to get there. I'm very proud of you. You set a goal, you set your sights on it, and you went after it, and you got it. Congratulations on and welcome to Team Lifetime. Now let's talk about your denial. I think this is the hardest part of this journey for a lot of us, is that, we sometimes don't know what it is we're doing to ourselves. And when our body starts failing us health-wise, we just assume it's because of the age. We don't make the assumption as we apply for life insurance that the reason it's not going well is because of our weight, which is something that we actually could have controlled. Now, you talked about every other diet out there, every other diet program out there, Metabolife, Atkins, South Beach, and the list goes on and on and on. And then I just want to correct something you said. And you said something along the lines of, well, I tried them and then they don't work. Well, you know what? They do work. Every single program out there has people who are successful if they understand what they're trying to do and can tie it back to why they are doing it. You found a way through Weight Watchers to make sure that your why stuck, that your why was so strong that you were able to power through and nothing else mattered because you said it's time to be lifetime forever. Yeah, your thought process was killing you. Your thought process was thinking that once you hit goal, the forever part was going to go away. But absolutely not. Congratulations. Thanks for Kathy for suggesting Weight Watchers to you. That's the hardest piece of this, is that when we see friends struggle, we want to say, hey, join me on Weight Watchers. I found some success. For her to reach out to you, she completely saved your life, and you owe her a complete debt of gratitude for that. Just go tell her thanks. Thanks for suggesting Weight Watchers. Thanks for getting me here. Thanks for believing in me. And thank you for helping me completely change my life and get lifetime. Now, your why is absolutely good. And so as you sat there and said that you just want to feel healthy again and fight this long, hard journey and just lose 10 pounds, as Dr. Oz says, and just sustain this program for life. All the things that you learned along the way ties directly back to that, and you just simply followed the plan. You didn't overthink it. You just followed the plan. Tracking 0-point foods, right? Generally, not tracking 0-point foods. We don't need you to track the 0-point foods because generally the 0-point foods are not foods that you're going to overeat. So the 0-point foods are there to get you now to eating healthier, and building that success that you built on and putting things maybe in your plate that maybe you didn't have before. And we're enticing you by giving you them 0-point foods to do that. Protein is a huge foundation. And getting enough protein in your diet, now that you're paying attention to the amount of protein you're getting, bingo, you started having the success. So I'm very, very proud of you. And I love, love, love the piece in your email at the very end where you own it. You say, I do realize that this is lifetime. It's because of my hard work. It's because of my focus. And it's because of the fact that I never gave up, and I'm so proud of me. That right there is why I'm proud of you, Will. Great mindset, great plan, way to live it. Congratulations. It's an honor to walk this journey with you. Now continue to show everyone else how amazing being lifetime is. And you'll absolutely have an amazing go. Next email comes in from Jennifer. She says, Dear FatDag, please note I have a very hard time saying that. It seems kind of rude. I really enjoy our podcast, the inspirational letters, and the information that you provide to each and every one of us. The celebrations, the struggles, you have it all there, and it's very encouraging. So here is my real issue, and this is an issue that I have that's personal. I cannot stand your mantra, when you're out of points, stop eating points. It makes me a little crazy. Here's the backstory. I have always been overweight. My family would bribe me to lose weight. I was teased in school, nicknames, I was picked on, you name it. I have an addiction to food. That is very hard to say. It doesn't seem like something that should be noted as an addiction. It's like telling an alcoholic you can't drink any longer. But I have to eat to live. How do you figure that out? It's all around us. It is some days hard to talk about it, but it seems so silly. Well, just stopped eating. Oh, okay. Well, why didn't I think of that? But the thought of not eating gives me true anxiety to the point that I'm crying in the middle of a supermarket because I can't figure out what to eat. I want it all, but I can't have it all. It will make me fat, but I need it. So on and so on. It's an endless battle. So I've done lots of therapy to work through it. And I thought for the most part, I'd gotten over that part of not craving the food and the need for food as a drug. I joined Weight Watchers in February 2017, and I've hit my 10%, which was a super great goal for me. I'm listening to more and more podcasts at work. They give me extra boost to keep going, but then I heard yours. The show is great with ideas and encouragement, but when I heard your mantra, it sent me into a panic attack. How do I do that? How do I stop eating when I'm out of points? What will I do? I will starve. How does anyone understand this madness? He's asking us to starve ourselves. Please note, some of my panic attacks are irrational, like this one. We can still eat fruit and no-point veggies, but what my addiction heard was no more food ever. It has a way of twisting the truth. Lesson is I'm actually not over my addiction. I still have a long ways to go, but I'm better. I'm so much better. I don't go for food as my crutch as much. It is the pink elephant in whatever room that I'm in that the food is in as well. It's something that I have to think about every single day, and it's exhausting most days. I could stop listening to the podcast, but that brief 2-second mantra is not going to stop me from getting to my goal. I have made up my mind about that. You might not want to read this on the air. I have no idea who it would help, but it's been weighing on me and I needed to get it off my chest. You cannot change what works for you if others don't like it. One day I may be able to hear it without cringing inside. That is my goal now. One reason I'm still listening because I'm still trying to find my why. I have a beautiful daughter who is 4 and I want to be around for a long time. That's a good why. Or my amazing husband, that's another why. But I need a why that is deep down inside the reason that like it will not shake me when things come up, and I'm working on it. I need a why for me, just not them. I think we get caught in the loop of she is my why or he is my why. I want to be my why, and I have trouble doing things for myself, and I'm working my tail off to lose this weight for me. No one else. I'm the only one that has to live in this skin, and I don't like it, so I'm changing it as hard as it is. Thanks for listening and reading my ramblings. Jennifer out of Kansas. Jennifer, I totally understand the mindset that you're coming from. And I'll start with your opening where you say, "Dear FatDag," and you have a hard time saying that because it seems rude. Well, I can tell you I don't take it that way at all. So for me, when I made the name FatDag, I wasn't in a good place. I didn't really like where I was. It was a name that someone else had given to me. So I understand the being called names. Someone else gave it to me, and I remember being made fun of, being in a military unit and having folks make fun of me because I was overweight. And I joined Weight Watchers, and I created the username FatDag. And so at the time, it was an adjective and a noun. FatDag, adjective and a noun, and for a long time I lived with that. And when I got to the point where I finally said enough is enough, and I found out my why, and I said I no longer ever want to struggle. I no longer want someone's opinion to be true. I'm going to solve this. So I've now turned FatDag into a complete noun. I've dropped the adjective part of this. And the reason I continue to use that name is because it becomes now a conversation starter. When someone introduces me, say, "Here's FatDag," and clearly people look and go, "Wait a minute, that doesn't make sense." It at that point gives me an opportunity to tell the story. It gives me an opportunity to reach out and help somebody else and say, "Listen, I lived through this. It's terrible." Our society judges us whether we, because we're overweight, they make the assumption that we're either not smart or we're lazy or we're not disciplined. That couldn't be further from the truth. There are some amazing, accomplished people who just happen to be overweight because their focus is in the wrong place. Their focus is on everything else in their life, but they haven't yet taken the time to focus on living and eating healthy. When you figure out why you're doing this, those things become the priority. So I absolutely know what's going on. The fact that we can control our food, and the fact that we can control, obviously relating an alcoholic to drinking, there are exactly some alcoholics that can never have another drink. And then there are some that are managing by just in moderation. That's the model we have to adopt with food. You're absolutely right. There is no way we can completely stop eating. It's just not something we can do. So we have to learn to do this. By you hitting your 10%, you've proven that you can learn to cope and live with this addiction. And I'm going to call it an addiction because I can relate to that. But you can learn to manage it in a healthy manner. You can learn to do it properly. And you have proven to yourself that you can do it. How incredible is that? How incredible is it that you recognize this, that at some point you hated being called names, you realized you had an addiction, and then you set a goal, you tackled it, and you beat it. Congratulations. That 10% is the first step in your journey. And as you look back at everything that you've done to hit your 10%, you certainly realize that all of that can be done again. Just keep doing what you're doing. Ignore what I say. There are no rules on this program. The rules are is if you've hit your 10%, everything you did to get there, you just continue doing, and that will carry you to goal. Finding your why is very much important in this journey. But sometimes you have to borrow a why for a little bit and work on a how. So your why is your daughter. That's a very strong why. Your why is your husband. That's a very strong why as well. You want to be healthy for your family. That's a very strong why. So use those whys for now. Develop the how that continues to get you past your 10%. At some point, you're going to recognize that your why will then surface as you get closer and closer to your goal weight. You'll start liking the way that you feel. You'll start liking the way that you're able to do things that you probably weren't able to do before. And when you recognize those and you recognize things that you're now doing for the first time or the first time in a long time, that's why we ask you to write them down, because that is kind of working backwards. And when you recognize that hey, I was never able to do this before and now I can, the why goes back to, you know what? My why was I want to continue doing this. My why is that I don't ever want to get to a place where I can't do these things that I now know I'm capable of doing. So work on the whys that you know, follow the plan, stick with the plan, do everything you did to get to your 10%, and trust the process, trust the program, trust you to know that you can do it. Jennifer, thank you so much for your email. It's an honor to walk this journey with you. I hope that you continue to listen in. If you're listening in the app specifically has a button to fast forward for 15 seconds. You know when it's going to come. If you don't want to hear it, that would be a great time to use that feature. You can actually customize it in the app to a 5, 10, 15 second fast forward. And so when I get to that point, you just press the button, it fast forwards 15 seconds, and we just press on. Out of Indiana, Lisa writes in and says, hello. First, my heartfelt appreciation goes out for all of the ways that you serve our country and the great state of Indiana. My name is Lisa. Lisa Powlin, W44 on Connect is my name. I've been on Weight Watchers for 8 weeks this time around, and I'm down 17.6 pounds. I think I want to lose about 60 pounds total. Starting weight of 204 pounds. Ouch. But I know for sure as I get closer to goal and it becomes a feeling, as you say, I'll know that I'm there. In hopes of encouraging others to find their why, I want to write in and tell you mine. My why is to make damn sure that the outside of me, what I see and what the world sees, especially my son, matches what I believe on the inside of me. I believe in healthy eating, exercise, and taking care of yourself. I am greatly opposed to what the food industry has done to our food supply and that big pharmaceutical companies create customers instead of cures. I believed all of that before Weight Watchers, and I was living as a hypocrite by sabotaging all of my good efforts with daily extreme amounts of poison in the form of alcohol and the abuse of food that always followed. I gave that up when I joined because it didn't match any of my goals or who I really am on the inside. I am grateful to Weight Watchers Connect and you for helping me discover that owning it and being accountable to it, this adventure continues and I will be keeping my why close by. Thank you so much for listening and encouraging me daily with your podcast. Sincerely, Lisa from Indiana. Lisa, congratulations on mentally winning. What a cool job that you're able to say, you know what, 8 weeks into this program, down 17.6 pounds, and you already mentally have this figured out. That's what I call is that you're already at goal. You're just now waiting for your body to catch up and the scale to report it. Congratulations on adopting a healthy lifestyle. I don't want you to think of your starting weight of 204 as an ouch. I want you to think of your starting weight of 204 as a celebration of a point in your life where you said, you know what, I now want to make a change. Now, healthy eating, it's something that we all have to work on. I told you more than once I would call this food school if I had to rebrand the entire program. Because there's so many options out there that aren't exactly in line with what our goals are. So we just need to be educated. And I agree with you about the food industry in some regards, but it's not the food industry that's the problem. It's the consumer demand that continues to make the food industry respond. Now, certainly they could help us out. I do agree with you there. But, they don't make a pink polka dotted car with 6 tires because no one would buy it. So if you think of it in that regards, if we start sending signals to folks who are selling the stuff and we continue to buy it, then as they look at their inventory sheet and they continue to run out of the junk food, then they continue to reorder it. But if at the end of the month, if they all of a sudden looked in and not a single peanut butter cup sold, they wouldn't reorder them. They would say, well, let's discontinue that. They're just not moving. But we as consumers continue to make the bad purchases that send the signal to the food industry to make more of it and keep going. So we have to use this as an education. Tell folks what you're doing so that you can educate them. So that they too can completely change their life and do everything that you're doing. Now the other thing you have to think about it at some point that, some people make choices that are celebratory that as a snapshot in time appear to be terrible decisions, but you know what? They're not bad in moderation. So we have to take all of that into account and just continue to say what works for me is that I can follow the program. I've adjusted my living. I've adjusted my exercise. I'm taking care of me. And that is what will carry me to goal. Lisa, congratulations on hitting goal mentally. I can't wait for the update when you write in and say that you've stepped on the scale for the very last time in a weight loss mode. It's going to be awesome. Emily writes in, says, Mr. X FatDag, I discovered your podcast last night. When I started my journey in January, my why was unclear. I just wanted to lose weight. Now I'm 8 months into the program, 45 pounds down, and the complacency is setting in. July and August have been a struggle because now I'm seeing real changes in my body and I'm a little over halfway to goal. I listened to your Whys episode number 12. I gave it a lot of thought and I finally have my why figured out. I want freedom. Freedom to shop in any store. I want freedom of weight-related health problems. Freedom of my overweight body. When I hit goal, you bet your tail I'm going to jam out to George Michael's Freedom 90. Losing weight and changing habits is hard, but being fat is harder. Thank you for helping me refocus and get my eyes back on the prize. Emily. Emily, thank you for your email. Thank you for tuning in, and I'm so glad you discovered the podcast. Hopefully you discovered it in the app. If you haven't gotten there yet, episode 72 is a great addition to right where you are right now. You've had amazing success on the program. You're down 45 pounds in 8 months. That's incredible work. That did not happen by accident. Everything you've done up to this point, your focus, your dedication, your determination has rewarded you with a 45-pound weight loss. You're seeing things and changes in your body that you probably haven't seen in such a long time. And that's when all of a sudden we say, okay, I like this. But you now need to more than ever say, you know what? I am happy where I'm at compared to where I started. But I know I have a lot more potential. And when we compare ourselves to our true potential to today, we recognize that we want to dig even deeper and harder to make sure that we get there. Because you truly have unlimited potential. You have the ability to do anything that you set your mind to. And we have to understand that the complacency trap, episode 72, that complacency trap will certainly haunt you. And at the halfway point in your journey, you have a couple choices. You can give up the program altogether, which almost always gives you a new start date, or you can continue living healthy. You can continue making happy choices and healthy choices. You can continue to add in some exercise, and you can get the freedom to shop in any store. You can walk in, pick anything off the rack. You will be free from any weight-related problems. You'll walk into your doctor's office, and the first response won't be, well, maybe you should lose a little bit of weight. That is when you know you've won. You will hit goal. I know you'll hit goal. So go ahead and tune up George Michael now. Memorize the words, and let's get it done. Emily, thank you for your email. Out of Wheaton, Alyse writes in often and says, cheers, I just hit my 10%. Alyse, congratulations. You know I talk about 10% a big deal. 10% a big deal for a couple different reasons. At 10%, you start regaining some health benefits that you may have previously lost due to our inability to control our food. And our weight has crept up. So we now, start having an impact on our health. But when you start at that 10% and you lose 10% of your body weight by being focused and deliberately taking care of you, that 10% is you start gaining those health benefits back. Continue doing what you're doing every step of the way. If you've hit 10%, you absolutely can hit goal. Nothing changes. The plan doesn't change. We don't give you any new tools. We simply say, keep doing what you're doing. Liz hits lifetime, emailed or chimed in on the Facebook Live before the show, says you're back at goal minus 56 pounds. Way to go, Liz, at lifetime back at goal. It's such an honor to celebrate with you and stand here with you and say, you know what, we did it. You did this. You set your sights on their goal. You said, I'm going to do it, and you went ahead and did it. Was it hard? You bet it was hard. But I'm positive that it's worth it. And you know it's worth it. And that is when we celebrate. What is it that you're celebrating? Let's go ahead and share it on the air. Go to FatDag.com, click on Listen Now to send in your celebrations. Send in your comments, your questions. I'll work them in as part of the show. You can email in at onair@fatdag.com. You can send an email directly from the app. I want you to email in your celebrations because I want you to be proud of what you're doing. As you heard earlier in the show, when you're proud of yourself, everything changes. Your focus becomes clearer. Wherever you are in this journey, be proud of that moment in the journey, because that pride makes it very difficult to stray off of the plan. If you love everything about you, if you love everything about the plan, if you love the fact that you've made the change to get healthy, that's worth celebrating. And that is what goal is. Well, that's going to do it for this time. Remember that losing weight and getting healthy has nothing to do with luck. You have to remain disciplined and focused. Set your sights on your goal and go after it. I wish you good focus.